How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. We all know the Brooklyn Nets, Philadelphia 76ers, and Milwaukee Bucks will be the top 3 seeds in the Eastern Conference. Amongst the biggest surprises within 50 games played of this regular season, the Charlotte Hornets, currently the 4 seed, nobody could have expected that. While the New York Knicks, also in playoff positioning, having a better record than both the Celtics and Pacers, the wild East to say the least. With that said, let's take a look at the most frustrating player to watch on each team in the Eastern Conference. Starting from the worst of the worst, the Detroit Pistons, Sekou Doumbouya. Year 2 hasn't made the leap, not much for the fans to be excited about, still very raw, 20 years young. The Pistons must remain patient and not get rid of him too early. Having some big games last season, doesn't look as athletic or confident this year, very disappointing, inconsistent minutes, out the rotation. At times, for a team that might finish the worst record in the league, doesn't hurt for Detroit to play all the young guys, just averaging 12 minutes a game, simply not enough. 3.5 points, 34% shooting. Team's a mess right now. Speaking of a mess, the Orlando Magic Mo Bamba, who's barely even in the rotation. The Magic already view him as a bust with the injuries to Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Isaac. Now that center Vucevic no longer with the team, neither is Evan Fournier or Aaron Gordon. One of the most dysfunctional franchises in the league, barely playing the former 6th overall pick in the 2018 draft, through 25 games, averaged 5.4 points, 4.2 rebounds, no improvements from his first 2 years, 47 games in year 1, 62 in year 2, teams trending downhill. The franchise was seen as a borderline playoff squad the last 2 years, nothing more than winning just 1 game in the first round each of the 2 seasons. Bamba viewed as a guy with Rudy Gobert potential, nearly 8-foot wingspan, even backup center Cam Birch, undrafted, playing better than Bamba. At this point, Magic fans would just be happy seeing him get another shot elsewhere like Toronto or OKC, franchises that knows how to develop their young guys. Watching Aaron Gordon was frustrating with his lack of improvement. Now with the contending Nuggets, at least since Woosh has been traded, Bamba's been putting up 11 and 6. If Orlando trades him before next season and he flourishes, the franchise will only shoot themselves in the foot. Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not even gonna mention Kevin $30 million Love, since it feels like he's not even part of the team anymore. Always banged up and unreliable. Too bad the franchise couldn't figure out a way to work out Kevin Porter Jr.'s issues. The answer's Taurean Prince, who the Nets absolutely don't miss. Super inconsistent and unreliable. There are games he might drop a dozen, other games 2 points on 1 of 8 shooting, 8 and 3 on the season, 35% from the field, not a reliable 3-and-D guy, especially making 14 mil on the season, 15 mil the next, way overpaid. Brooklyn should be extremely thankful they're able to contend for a title with Harden now and don't have to deal with Prince's bricks anymore. Washington Wizards Davis Bertans, not living up to his contract, plays no defense, averaged 15.4 points a year ago, down to just 10.8 points. You would expect him to put up higher numbers with all the attention given to Russ and Beal. 39% from the field, 6'10", averaging less than 3 rebounds a game through 35 games. 5 years, $80 million, seems like overpaid to me. Already 28 years old, been out with a calf injury. I doubt Bertans lasts his 5 seasons at the nation's capital. His stock clearly fallen. Was supposed to have a Joe Harris type impact, but nowhere close to that. The Toronto Raptors, team out of sync. It's been a nice postseason run since 2014. Kyle Lowry still very good. The franchise getting rid of Norman Powell, a head scratcher. We all know Stanley Johnson's a bust by now. Aaron Baines, the most disappointing player on the team. Seems like age is finally caught up to him. 34 years old, looked sharp last season. Averaged 11.5 points, down to 6 a game. Under 43% shooting, making $7 million on the year. Was supposed to make up for the Ibaka Gasol combo, but has just been terrible for the team. Looks nothing like the player he once was. Struggling in all aspects, gets beaten up by other bigs. Team had enough mid-February, moved him to the bench. The Chicago Bulls. The answer is Cristiano Felicio, whose contract has been an absolute travesty. Signed for 4 years, $32 million. Should honestly be 4 years, negative $3.2 million. 7.5 mil this season, 9 total games. The fact that he's averaging 1.3 points, 1.4 rebounds, makes 0 impact. The fans cannot wait till he's gone and likely out the league after this season. The answer was Chandler Hutchinson, who's no longer part of the team. The 6'11" Felicio might just be the worst player in the entire association, making more than $7 million a year. The Indiana Pacers, one of the most disappointing teams of the season, with TJ Warren out, the playoff chances slim. The 24-year-old Aaron Holiday, 6.7 points, under 2 boards, 2 assists in 17 minutes a game, shoots 37% from the field, shown tons of promise last year with Brogdon's absence, but way too inconsistent. His defense the opposite of his older brother Drew, having plenty of chances to shine, just not working out. When he comes in, fans pray the team doesn't give up their lead. TJ McConnell does all the dirty work, can't fill the playmaking duties. His future with the team up in the air. The Boston Celtics, the overpaid Kemba Walker, an absolute travesty. The Celtics signed him to a fat 4-year, $141 million deal with bad knees, super inconsistent. Celtic fans sick to their stomach watching him smile whether his team's winning or getting blown out, or after missing a big shot through 29 games, averaging just over 18 points, under 5 assists, under 40% shooting. Terry Rozier's been putting up better numbers with a team on a better record. Walker hasn't looked the same since his knee injury last season. Danny Ainge apparently tried to trade Kemba in 2020 but couldn't find somebody to fool. Boston fans actually thought he was better than Kyrie. Walker some nights just don't have his legs. When he can't hit a shot, not good on defense, being undersized, relying heavily on speed and acceleration to create space, almost 31, not getting any better, doesn't look like he will age well. The Atlanta Hawks, Cam Reddish, viewed as a guy with star potential. The 21-year-old hasn't elevated his game, average 11 points, under 37% shooting, 26 from 3, finishes poorly at the rim, very capable of playing much better, out with an Achilles injury since February 21st. Although Gallinari and Bogdanovic haven't been playing their best, Reddish, the type of player viewed as higher upside, remains steady. The New York Knicks, Elfrid Payton. Knicks fans are furious he's still with the team. Started all his games at point guard. He is who he is at this point of his career, average around a dozen points, under 4 and 4, 24 from 3, terrible shooter. Julius Randle been doing most of the playmaking. The Miami Heat, Tyler Hero, after plenty of hot moments during the bubble, the sophomore has cooled off, shooting just 41% through 36 games, 15.5 points, the most experienced second-year player playing in the biggest stage. RJ Barrett has proven to be a lot better. Hero super beloved. His co-following wouldn't even want James Harden for him. Hasn't progressed or elevated his game, turns the ball over quite a bunch, not a consistent outside shooter yet. Miami won't come out the East if Hero doesn't elevate his game. Charlotte Hornets, PJ Washington. His very first NBA game, 27 points on 7 threes, but had a recent game of 44 minutes, 0 of 7 shooting, 0 points, super inconsistent. Sometimes he's amazing, but other times unwatchable and unplayable. Had a monster 42 point against the Kings, dominated everywhere, but the following game went 1 of 8 from the field for 3 points, super unpredictable. 1 minute fans are cheering for him, the next you want him on the bench. The 22-year-old, identical numbers to his rookie year, will need to play well for Charlotte to remain in playoff positioning. The Milwaukee Bucks, they got rid of Torrey Craig and DJ Augustine. Brook Lopez on and off year, despite playing a big role anchoring the defense the last 2 years. The 7-footer has been unplayable in crunch time, where the team needs to go small with Giannis at the 5, averaging the lowest points of his career in the second year of his 4-year, $52 million deal. The big man needs to be fresh and stay ready to knock down big-time shots come playoff time. The Philadelphia 76ers, Mike Scott, still getting nearly 18 minutes a game, looks completely washed most times, 4 points, 36% shooting, unplayable. Philly fans scratch their head when he's in for an extended period of time, but very energetic off the bench, while Korkmaz and Diabo has been on and off. Scott having the worst shooting season of his career. The Brooklyn Nets, DeAndre Jordan. It's about time. Nick Claxton plays late minutes down the stretch over the 32-year-old overpaid big who can't defend anybody, gets easy loss from Harden and Kyrie. The reason why Brooklyn lost plenty of early games this season before Harden's arrival, Coach Nash played Jordan way too much. The only reason he's on the roster, being close with KD and Kyrie. Now he just needs to embrace his role of a more expensive Udonis Haslem. Very lazy on the court, regressed in every way. At least Harden makes him look good when he's open. I doubt Jordan plays deep in the playoffs. Otherwise, whoever he's guarding, a guaranteed bucket, is also an absolute travesty. 5 years ago, Jordan made first team All-NBA, and the Nets having 3 superstars currently, none of the other 3 made first team. In fact, Harden wasn't even on any NBA team in 2016. The biggest crime of all crimes, the fact that CP3 turned DJ into a first teamer, maybe the most impressive accomplishment of his career.
Thank you so much for watching this video. What other players in the Eastern Conference do you find most frustrating to watch that wasn't included on this list? Let me know in the comments below. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball, NBA related that might interest you. So if you love NBA basketball, just subscribe to my videos. More good stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.